So I came out of the house, of course, like, yeah, stupid though. You went there to can be kissing. That, in fact, it's not even what you guys thought like it was. So just like, so you lost your home training. You went there and it was about man.
Hey Bethans, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm so glad to have you guys here. If today's the first time on my channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button before you leave. Also give this video a very big thumbs up right now or at the end if you enjoyed watching it, okay? Guys, let me tell you, tonight's episode was perfect. Okay, I don't understand why I buttoned one and did not button the other one. But Amebo says let's go, so we move, okay? I don't really care, but I feel they use style they do on underground. You know, if I put my hands down, they do it. But guys, let me tell you, I genuinely enjoyed tonight's episode, and the truth of the matter is, because of the weather, you know, the weather is cold, you know, everywhere is chilled, couples are coupling up, you know, they are choking each other, they are doing what couples do. And with the singles now, we never call couple. We're just out here begging you guys to let us breathe. Let the singles breathe. You owe us that responsibility. So of course, like, this weather's just really chilled. You know, the episode now came again. Ebuka was not talking about love and all of that. I'm just like, I love it. Okay, I really love it. So of course, you know, he first of all commended their outfits and was like, yeah, you guys are looking all nice. You look like you're here for traditional marriage. There's a lot of white, but there's no peace. Ebuka with slight shades, you know, he was like, there's a lot of white because some of them are wearing white, but he was like, there's no peace and all of that. And of course, he decided to start off with Elo Swag. You know, he asked Elo Swag how he was feeling, if he was feeling like all lovey-dovey, and that was like, hey, there's no love here, there's no love here. I'm like, please, Oga, it's too early, don't come and spoil our shine, okay? Don't come and spoil the mood for us. You know, he was like, oh, there's no love here. But then again, Ebuka went on to then play a clip, and it was a clip of Elo Swag and Chumsy. And you guys know how lovey-dovey these two people were back in the house, you know, at some point. They were really cool, you know, just in that vibe, in that mood, where it's like, what's the apple for you? Again, let the singles breathe. Let us breathe. So when he played the clip and all of that, Ebuka decided to ask them what that was about, especially knowing that, you know, both of them, as much as they cared for one another, they were still very strategic in the game. And then Elo Swag decided to go on a rant spree. I'm like, okay, relax, take it easy. Like, you need to help us build things up. Let us understand what exactly it is that happened between you and Chomzy. And it's like, well, for him, you know, he felt like it was one-sided. You know, he felt like he was the one, you know, giving all the attention and all of that. You know, he felt like Chomzy wasn't reciprocating the entire thing. And then even when she now came out of the house going for interviews, she kept on saying, my bestie, you know, he's just my bestie, and for him, I was wondering, like, what do you mean I'm just your bestie? Like, we had this thing defined, you know, we agreed that we were an item, blah blah blah, so why are you now going out to say my bestie? Like, why would you do that? And then of course, guys, Ebuka decided to hear from Chomzy, because he just felt like Elo Swag was still filled with a lot of resentment, a lot of, you know, I don't know what it was that he was filled with on that episode, but you know, he was just acting funny, just going on and on and on and on. And then of course, Chomzy went on to tell us that yes, they were an item in the house, but upon coming out and all of that, you know, baby was not feeling the stuff, because she said to him, like, look, when you ask a girl out and she says no, you know, she doesn't want to be in a relationship, just act cool. Like, you don't have to be very, you know, petty about it and all of that. Just move on. You guys can be friends, you know, be friends and all of that. And she mentioned that she's been the one checking up on this guy. You know, she would literally send him messages. She would call him, Elo Swag, how are you? This one. In fact, she said on the first day of the shoot, you know, the reunion shoot, she literally said hi to the guy, and then he was now trying to give her one type of attitude, acting like, you know, she was not there and all of that. And so she told herself that she will not do it again. You know, if he doesn't say hi to her first, she would not say hi to him. And since then, it's been that way, because Ebuka pointed out that since they started filming the reunion, both of them have not said anything to one another. And, you know, Chomzy's explanation made us understand why that was so. Now, Ebuka was like, okay, so if that's the case, Elo Swag, do you see where Chomzy is coming from? I mean, she said hi to you. She's been trying to reach out to you. So how come you've been acting, you know, funny and all of that? The guy now said, that in fact, something even happened in SA. You know, that's actually what, you know, just tuned everything off for him. Blah, 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 blah. You know, say, if the same make we talk, I go talk. Oh. If the same make I talk, I go talk. Oh, because me, Ebuka, so yeah, tell us what happened in South Africa, because this South Africa gist they also important. And the truth is, we all want to know what happened in that South Africa. So he was like, well, that the girl, she was behaving very sneaky, blah blah blah, that how come both of them were sleeping, and then the next thing she tiptoed. He made it look like, I was already playing it out in my head like, madam, where are you tiptoeing to? And then you now went on ahead again. The same Elo Swag that was saying, oh yes, she tiptoed out of the room and all of that. And when he checked the time, like 3 a.m., she was not back. That although she shared her location with him, but then again, he just felt like he was really sneaky. And then Chomzy like, what is sneaky about that? Me and you, we had our separate rooms. Yes, we were together. Because, even when they came out of the house, they were still good. Maybe not as a couple. But then, according to Chomzy, they were still like, bestie, and all of that. Now, Chomzy's like, if you're saying I was being sneaky, why would I send you my live location? Like, I literally sent that to you so you have an idea of where I was. And she was explaining that she has 2 friends in South Africa, and they had called her up, like she lost her money, and so those ones bought her some things and just called her out and all, and that was where she was, which was why she sent him the live location in the first place. Like, guy, this is where I am and all of that. Yeah, so why would I do that if I was trying to be really sneaky, like you were saying? And that she was even very embarrassed, like the next morning when she came back, that Elo Swag was giving an attitude, like he actually created a scene at the hotel, that the receptionists were now looking at them somehow and all of that. Because I was like, okay, what did he do? She was like, he was basically acting like a husband. Like, why are you acting that way? You're not even my husband, so why are you trying to act like, you're my husband and all of that? And then Eloswag was like, oh, so it's a crime to care, Abi? So it's a crime to care, Abi? I say, what's in the app? Eloswag, relax. Like, you can't be like say you hold Chomzy for chest, you dey wait for us. Okay, this night I go destroy you, I go talk this, I go, because if they give that boy a chance, if or still they run him out, they go. It's like, see, we said a lot, we did a lot. If you say make I talk, I go talk, oh, blah 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 blah. Because Chomzy was like, guys, I'm even very disappointed, just hearing all of these things, from Elo Swag, because he's someone that I really, really like as a friend and all of that. But at this point, it's over. I'm blocking him after this reunion. I was like, if you want to block me, block now. What they concern me being blocked? I've been a block us. I say, bros, relax now, relax. He was like, when we came back from South Africa, why were you now keeping your distance? Why were you doing this? So she's like, yeah, that she was going through a lot at the time, and she felt like she needed to just focus on herself first and all of that, which was why she was deliberately giving him space and all of that. Then when she now talked about the whole blocking thing, I was like, block me now, block me. I don't need you. I say, brother, if you look this thing where you need them because the way they talk this thing here, it prepare you for body. But it's okay. Like I always say, one person wants to act like, oh yeah, it's nothing, while the other one might be honest enough to say, look, this was really it for me and I was feeling bad about it. And of course, like, Elo Swag kept on going. He was like, in fact, this blocking that you want to block myself is nothing new. After all, we had blocked ourselves before where we planned it. It was actually us chasing clouds and all of that. Since you say I'm here to chase clouds, and let me quickly say everything, that we blocked ourselves one time, and that time it was both of us just coming together to say, you know what, let's create content, let's block ourselves so that people will talk about it, blah blah blah. But even that cloud said, say it not even work. This one, I'm like, really?
Oh God, we all followed each other. We actually planned this. It was there. It didn't really trend because the class said it's not necessary. We know them fast. So
you got it up. No. Let me talk.
This is more like you spreading your dirty linen outside. We didn't have to know all of that. We had talked about your whole unfollowing each other, and that one don't pass. Like, why did you have to bring that up again? For me, that's petty. Okay. That's really petty. And then Chomzy was like, if you want me to name names, I'll name names. Because you told me that there was one female Big Brother Naija housemate that said we should do that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So even this follow to unfollow, all these things are plan work. And they talk sometimes, see, some of these housemates, they go just be where they want to now think, okay, what do I do for people to talk about us? For better, Ezine, FILMORA, Shakamari. What can I do for them to talk? Blogs on Instagram. What can I do? Then people will just come up with one thing because how come? This one now they tell us they don't expose the rest of the people where they follow to refollow. Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Anyways, Ebuka decided, okay, tell us now, where is this relationship now? I've been a friendship. Like, what are you guys? It looks like, you know what, like, it's fine. The distance is okay. Like, whatever. Let her be there. Let me be there. Ebuka now asked Chomzy, like, what is it for you? Are you cool with that? And he was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, at this point, there's really no need arguing. And to be honest, I'm on Chomzy's side, because like I cannot be arguing with a guy like that on national TV. Like, hello, if we did stuff together as a couple where we would gossip and laugh at people and do this and say that, then we break up, that's not enough reason for you to now come outside and be opening your wide mouth to say, oh yeah, we did this, we did that. Like, Oga, as you are embarrassing me, you are embarrassing yourself. So who lose? Now two of us. In fact, now you, because now you where they talk, I'm now come be like mumu. You know, now you will call they look like bolo. Anyways, guys, moving away from that, you know, sad story, let's talk about Bella and Sheggz. Now, I know a lot of you are waiting to hear what I have to say about this whole Bella and Sheggz situation, because going by the show, I was never a believer of their love story. Like, for me, I felt like, you know, some things were just really off and all of that. I mean, I still have my reservations about their relationship, but does that really matter? Does that change anything? Absolutely not. Okay, so me saying that I have my reservations does not mean that my judgment of what they said tonight is clouded or anything like that. Matter of fact, I'm probably not even going to tell you guys what I think. I'm just going to tell you guys what they said, okay, so that we'll be on a safe side. Now, basically, Ebuka wanted to understand what was going on between Bella and Sheggz. You know, he started out by asking her, you know, when did you notice this guy? You know, she's like, well, as soon as he entered the house, she was like, hey, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. You know, and then when he spoke to her the first time, she was like, hey, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm like, Bella, can you be less dramatic? Because this is a lot. It was so funny when she was saying, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm dead. I'm dead. You know, she said that, and you know, for her, that was it. She just knew that this was her type of person and all of that. And you know, for Sheggz, yeah, he was like, well, when he came to the house, he came in very simple. He saw her, you know, she looked really, you know, put together and all of that. And then of course they noticed, oh, I brought this soap, oh, she brought the same soap. I brought this cleanser, she brought the same cleanser. So it's like, what's the universe saying to us? You know, what is the universe saying? And you know, from there they grew, and you know, they are where they are right now. Now, of course, Ebuka wanted to find out what happened, you know, during their whole interview stuff, because we all remember that during their media rounds there, at some point, Bella's story changed. You know, 1 minute she was talking about, you know, how she felt about, you know, Sheggz and all of that. The next minute she's coming out to tell us, you know what, I'm just trying to focus on my brand. I'm trying to do this for myself, you know, myself. And I know we came on here to talk about it, and we felt like, you know what, this girl must have been briefed. Her family members must have said we're not interested. You know, it was all just speculations. We did not have any facts, you know, for real. So today, they were both kind enough to clear that out. Bella was like, yes, she was truly briefed on what to say, you know. And for her, when she went on the first interview and said all those, you know, I'm minding my business, you know, I want to focus on myself. For her, it did not make sense, because she knew exactly what it was she was feeling for the guy at the time. Even up till now, you know, she knows what she's feeling. And of course, Sheggz also knew what he was feeling and what he's still feeling right now for her. So for her, it didn't make sense. Like, what was all this nonsense? You know, so that was the point she told herself, you know what? Let's F it, like, die it. I'm going to go out there and say, oh, yes, we're together. Anybody that cares to listen, I will definitely sing it in their ears, basically. And then for Sheggz as well, he mentioned that, you know, that period of time was like the most difficult period for him, especially knowing that both of them were cool. Like, even though social media was buzzing, like, oh, maybe they are separated and all of that, low-key, both of them were still cool. And it was so difficult because now, even his own family people, like his parents, also hired like a team to guide him, to put him through, and you know, go for interviews and then say things like, oh yes, Bella and I were good, but right now I'm focusing on myself, I'm focusing on my brand, yada yada yada. Like, for him, it's like the same thing that was happening to Bella was happening to him. Like, this didn't make any sense. And so boom, you know, 1 minute he's trying to say I'm focusing on myself, the next minute he's singing into our ears, into the innermost part of our eardrums. Oh, she's my wife, she's my this, she's my that. And I remember that time we're like, guy, calm down, you guys just got out of the house. So for him, that was what happened, to the point where those people his parents hired for him as a team, they all left. They're like, you know what, we cannot work with this guy because he doesn't listen. Like, you tell him to say something 1 minute, the next minute he's saying something else. And so they all left. Now Ebuka was like, okay, you know what, we've heard about the whole interviews and all of that. Now there's still one topic that needs to be addressed, and it's the whole family issue. Because we all remember that time, you know, Bella's brothers will come out and say, oh, we will drill him, we'll do this, we'll do that. Ebuka really wanted to find out what meeting each other's families were like. You know, was it warm? Did they drill you? Did they sit you down and, you know, say, oh, you know what, you cannot be together? Or like, what exactly happened? And for Sheggz, it's like, well, you know, of course, when he met Bella's parents, you know, her family, they obviously sat him down, to talk to him, like not necessarily drilling him, but just wanting to, discuss some of their concerns, especially because there were different news flying around the internet that time about Sheggz, beating up his ex-girlfriend, just all of that stuff. So they were concerned and wanted to hear from him. And after they had a conversation and all of that, up until now, it's been bliss. In fact, he referred to our family as his support system as well. And of course, when Bella met his parents as well, like his family, it was all cool. And right now they are dating. According to Bella, they're in a relationship, they're good, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. Because like just that, she said yes, just that.
The Amebo family, no nonsense. I explained myself, she explained herself.
So did they grill you?
I don't think grill me is the right word, but questions were definitely asked. They were definitely worried about some things because there's a lot of things in the media about me.
And then at this point, the rest of the house were like, last relationship standing, blah, 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 blah. And then Ebuka was like, see, don't follow our hand. They should not disappoint us. So, we don't want to hear story. So, yeah, they're cool, regardless of how I feel about their relationship, regardless of my reservations. Like I said earlier, it doesn't change anything. Okay? Now, moving away from that, guys, it was time to talk about the whole Khalid, Daniella, Dotun situationship. And of course, Ebuka wanted to find out where they were at this point. And clearly, these three people, I love the fact that they were able to resolve things. I think that they even share like a good friendship, because the way they answered their questions tonight, it was just really chilled. It was just really mature. What's her name now? Daniella was like, yes, we were an item. Like, this guy literally asked her out in the second week. Okay, Saturday party of the second week, told her to be his girlfriend. So yes, it was defined. Okay. He had every right to go on his interviews to say, yes, we're an item, we're this, we're that. He had every right to say that. And of course, Ebuka wanted to find out from Khalid if they had talked since then. They said, yes, that they had spoken, and all of that. They had, actually trashed things out. But basically, Khalid was saying that he was okay with the whole thing he had with Daniella, and they even had conversations because he left really early in the show. And so before that time, they had conversations where he was telling her that, look, even though any other thing happens, he will not be angry. But then like where he started feeling a certain way was when she was now moving to Dotun. But then again, he actually commended her because according to him, she struggled. And guys, we saw that Daniella was struggling even when Dotun was pressing P and all of that. She struggled for a while before they eventually became like an item, so they talked about that. And then for Daniella, she was like, well, whatever it is that happened between she and Dotun was as a result of situation and circumstance, because again, she would always tell Dotun that if Khalid were to be here, that you never see my back and all of that. And he was nodding in affirmation, basically saying, yes, she said that to me. But then for Dotun, he's like, well, he would not necessarily say situation and circumstance. For him, it was them saying, you know what, let's see how it goes right now in the house, and then after the show, we can pick it up from there, if at all, So for him, that was what it was. And he felt like he should have actually been more supportive to Daniella, especially because even during the show, she kept on talking about how people would perceive her outside, how she's very sure that the media would have negative things to say about her and all. And he felt like he could have done more in terms of being more supportive and just trying to make people understand what exactly it was at the time and all of that. So he mentioned that he had apologized to her. In fact, they had both apologized to each other. She was cool with Khalid and just all of that. Now Ebuka wanted to understand where Bbnaija was in terms of this whole situation, knowing fully well that she and Dotun had a thing. It was brief, but then there was something there. And Bbnaija was like, well, she felt bad because he always told her how much he liked her, how much he wanted this, he wanted that and all. And so when she got evicted, she was willing to wait for the guy to come outside. Ebuka said, were you waiting for a relationship? She said, no, I was just trying to get to know the guy and all of that. So for her, she felt bad, but it's cool, at the end of the day, if you not work out, you not work out with that. Now, Ebuka asked about the whole Kes and Bbnaija situation. You guys remember the day she was teasing him and saying, oh, I know you are married and all of that, but you're always saying I'm a sweet girl, I'm this, I'm that. So if I kiss you now, will you say no to me? Blah, 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 blah. For her, she said it was just her teasing the guy. It was just a joke. She did not mean it like that. And of course, Kes actually confirmed that and said, oh, this girl actually respects me. She respects my marriage. And, he didn't even see it as any big deal back then, up until he came out of the house and realized that, that was one of his highlights and all. So for him, it wasn't that deep. And yeah, that's basically where they ended it tonight. Okay, like I said, I enjoyed the episode. It was just really chilled. nothing too serious, no you know, not everyday curse words and all of that. Today was really chilled, and like I said earlier, it just went with the vibe of the weather. Chilled. Okay, so let me know, did you guys enjoy it? If I missed out on anything, please make sure to let me know what it is in the comment section. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and yes, I do the buttons. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.